In this part 4, we're going to use some text to basically create a clipping mask with an image so the image shows through the text. We'll also look at font families. So first I'm going to use the eye toggles on the layers panel window just to switch the box layer off and also the designs. I'm now going to create a new layer above those and I'm going to rename that title, and then I'm going to use the type tool and I'm going to click on the guide at the top here and then type in Skyline Designs 2021. And then using the selection tool and my finger on the shift key, I'm going to enlarge that up so to about there. And then I'm going to choose a bold font. So next I'm going to place an image from the folder, this metal flooring, and then place. And then you can see your image is loaded in the cursor, so I'm just going to let go of that on the guideline there. And again, using the selection tool, I'm going to enlarge that up. And remember to keep your finger on the shift key when you do this so it's proportional. And what we're going to do now is make a clipping mask so the image comes through the text. So I need the image behind the text. So I'm going to go Object, Arrange, Center Back. So I'm going to reposition the picture so I've just got it where I want it to be. So my plan is to have this text acting as a clipping mask so the image will show through the text. So that's why I need the text on top of the image. So let's select both the image and the text. So to do that, in the layers palette I'm going to open the sub menu for that layer, and you can see my text is already selected. If I put my finger on the shift key and click on the linked file, which is the image of the metal floor, so they're both selected, and then I can go Object, Clipping Mask, Make. You might want to put a stroke on your text as well, so if I click on make that stroke, I might want to make it a bit thicker, so go over to the stroke panel and then increase the thickness. So while the text is in this clipping mask, you can still edit it. So let's have a look at doing some editing to the text. So just need to highlight the text, and then on the options bar we have character. First you have the name of the font, so you can choose different styles of fonts. I'll talk about font families later on in this exercise. You can then choose the style of that font. You can then also choose the size of the font. So this is in points. If I make this 100 points, click enter. Next we have kerning and tracking, and sometimes there's a question in the ACA exam about the difference between kerning and tracking. Now with all the text highlighted, let's have a look at tracking. If we increase the percentage of tracking, you can see the spaces between all the characters in that highlighted text will increase proportionally to the increase. Now let's look at kerning. For this I need to select in between two characters, and let's zoom in so we can see this happening. If I go back up to character, and then if I decrease on the kerning, and when it starts going to minus, you should start to see the space between the S and the K getting smaller. Okay, let's highlight that S and look at some other character features. So you can also increase the vertical scale of type if you so wish, and you can also increase the width, the horizontal scale of the text as well. And then you have the baseline shift. So at the moment this is the baseline here. So if we increase the baseline shift, you can see it moves up, and if you decrease, it will move below the baseline. You can also rotate the text if you so wish. So let's finish and deselect that and fit upward onto window. In the ACA exam, it's possible that you could get a question about different types of fonts. So there's 4 types of font families. There's sans serif, serif fonts, and decorative fonts, and script fonts. Fonts such as Times New Roman are serif fonts. The characteristics of these are at the beginnings and ends of each character you get the serif. The serifs help lead the eye from one character to the other, so with large amounts of text it's easier to read serif fonts. Fonts such as Arial and Helvetica are sans serif fonts. Sans means none in French, so sans serif fonts are without the serif. They really lend themselves for bold and punchy headlines and titles. Next are script fonts. Anything that looks handwritten is a script font. And finally, the 4th one is decorative fonts. Anything like rosewood or stencil are decorative fonts. Thank you for listening. In the next part 5, we'll be looking at threading text between text boxes.